Most people think old money in Miami is just one thing: waterfront mansions, shiny new towers, and big price tags. But the real legacy money pattern here is tighter than that. It clusters into a handful of established lanes, where the streetscape is the asset, where homes don't come up very often, and where the value is tied to history and scarcity, not whatever is trending this year. When you zoom out and actually study Miami's planned legacy communities and historic districts, a very clear map shows up. And that's why in this video, I'm breaking down the planned legacy city where design rules are the status symbol and the vibe has been protected for generations, Coral Gable, and Miami's oldest neighborhood where lifestyle and scarcity do the talking, Coconut Grove. How to tell true legacy lane versus modern perceived so you don't buy the wrong product, because they buy differently, they insure differently, resell different. And historic designation is one of the clearest tells. I'm Milton Andrade. I help buyers and sellers make neighborhood level decisions across Miami. And my goal with this video is simple: to show you where old money actually contributes, what these areas feel like day to day, and how to recognize legacy versus modern prestige before you commit. Let's start with the clearest planned legacy lane in the Miami core, Coral Gables. This is a planned legacy where design rules are status. Coral Gables was launched in the early 1920s by developer George Merrick as a fully planned community. This wasn't random growth. This was intentional design. Tree-lined avenues, monumental civic buildings, winding roadways, integrated green space, the city beautiful movements, Mediterranean revival architecture, and most importantly, cohesion. Here's why it reads old money in Miami. Coral Gables, the flex is not flash. It's consistency, not to be confused with homogeneity. This is not chaos. You don't see 5 architectural styles fighting each other on one block. You see a canopy, setbacks, symmetry, protected identity. Driving down Tornado Boulevard is like living in a Spanish soap opera set in the 1920s. This is nothing like the big city, nor will you find a large glass cube that some people call home. There's a calm confidence in a gable, and the preservation framework matters. Historic protections, design review boards, architectural standards, these are the rules, not the restrictions. These are valuable stabilizers. When you're buying Coral Gables, you're not just buying square footage. You're buying into a protected identity. And that creates a different kind of scarcity than a luxury tower. Micro-location here matters. North Gables versus South Gables feels different. Proximity to the Biltmore, proximity to Miracle Mile at top schools? Well, there's a difference in the feel and the vibe between the Golden Triangle, Coral Gables by the sea, and the Miracle Mile. The trees, the entrance walls, the roundabouts, it's all a bit different, yet theme remains. It feels Coral Gable. Block by block, pricing behaved differently. Resale psychology behaved differently. The big buyer reality, you're underwriting the streetscape, the landscaping, the cohesion. That's the asset. Now, if Coral Gables is a planned legacy lane, the next lane is Miami's oldest lifestyle pocket, where scarcity and identity do the heavy lifting. Coconut Grove. Legacies, lifestyle, original Miami. Coconut Grove is the oldest continually inhabited neighborhood in the city of Miami. And you feel that immediately. This is not manufactured charm. It's layered history. The Grove reads as established because it's been distinct for a long time. It functions like its own village inside Miami. I have to admit that for a long time, too long, I even thought it was a city of its own. You have canopy streets, you have bay access, you have marinas, you had schools embedded into the neighborhood fabric. You can walk to dinner and still feel residential. As a matter of fact, the flex in Coconut Grove is your walk to and from home, and that's rare in Miami. There's always people jogging, biking, taking a stroll down Bayshore Drive, the Peacock Park, the marina, or just a brush. This is a city where the pedestrians always go first and the cars second. And why it reads those money? Well, it's not flashy. It's got roots. The Grove has neighborhood conservation protections that keep certain streets consistent over times. With all its trees and the amazing canopy, Coconut Grove is a sanctuary for people and birds. The peacocks have the right of way. And that's why buyers who want the Grove feeling often don't see a substitute. You can't replicate 100-year-old trees overnight. You can't replicate bay breezes with a neat tower. The product here isn't uniform. You're going to see modern-day new construction next to 1920s homes or bungalows. But the buyer psychology, it's about micro-location. North Grove feels different than South Grove. Bayfront versus Interior Grove, walkability to the village versus deep residential hidden in the trees. This market behaves differently than the condo corridor. because lifestyle is the driver, not amenities. Now, if Coconut Grove is the legacy lifestyle lane, the next pocket people overlook is the one sitting quietly next to the financial core, the Rhodes. Quiet prestige next to Brickell. The Rhodes sits directly west of Brickell, but it behaves completely different. This is low-rise residential. It has tree canopy, 1920s and 30s architecture, very, very wide streets, minimal through traffic. The Rhodes is interesting because it doesn't scream, whispers. You're 5 minutes from Brickell, but you feel detached from it. Driving through Brickell on Southwest 13th Street, you pass the last roundabout, you find yourself on historic Colwell Way. The change is abrupt and for the better. Time flows down, history just kicks you. You make a turn and it feels elegant. Wide streets, nice lot, beautiful trees. This is what Brickell used to be before they went vertical. This is close-in, quiet prestige. It's not a waterfront trophy. It's not a gated island. It's urban legacy fabric. And the buyer reality? Well, inventory's tight. People hold dear. They're generational homes. And when things do trade, they trade quick, because there aren't many substitutes at this proximity. If you like tall buildings, you can see them in the distance from your private yard. Now, let's move north to a true historic district pocket, and that is Morningside. Morningside is a designated historic district and is also listed on the National Register of Historic Places. And that designation matters because it means the character is legally protected. Roughly bounded by Northeast 55th Street, Northeast 60th Street from Biscayne Boulevard to Biscayne Bay. This is a contained pocket with a mature canopy. Mediterranean revival homes, Art Deco influences, and a few marriages of modern and classic that are sprouting up. They have consistent setbacks, 1 or 2 story brick or concrete homes. These are all built to last, and they have. This is one of my absolute favorite neighborhoods. Imagine getting up in the morning to watch the sunrise while walking your dog, sitting right on the bay. It's 30-acre Morningside Park. This is a gated community, but public roads, so a record of everyone in and out, but open to the public. Why it reads old money? Well, because the beauty of the neighborhood is the asset. The trees, the scale, the continuity. This is quiet confidence, not spectacle. And buyers, they sometimes shop it like a nice area, but the real value driver is protected historic fabric. Block by block matter deeply here. Now, let's shift to something very different. The Trophy Corridor people confuse with old money. North Bay Road. Trophy waterfront wealth. The Park Avenue of Miami Beach. North Bay Road is roughly 4-mile waterfront stretch on Miami Beach with massive estates, wide Biscayne Bay frontage, downtown skyline views, and private docks. This is concentrated trophy real estate, and people often label it old money. But the driver here is different. This is waterfront positioning, frontage length, view corridors, lot depth, and dockage. It's land value first. Where some find value being tucked away in neighborhoods like Coral Gables, owning land on Billionaire Row, that is a real flex. This is trophy real estate. Owners invest in resilience, seawalls, elevations, and insurance strategies. And even here, the block matters. The sunset exposure, the boat traffic, and the noise patterns. Even trophy corridors have micro-markets. Now that we've covered legacy lanes and trophy waterfront, let's talk about modern prestige. And that's Brickell, downtown, and Edgewater. Vertical wealth has different drivers. Brickell, downtown Miami, and Edgewater, well, these areas are prestigious. They're high-rise towers with luxury amenities, amazing views, walkability, and proximity to finance and culture. The values here, they're different. In modern prestige, you're underwriting the building, the HOA structure, the reserve funding, insurance, management, and assessment exposure. Now, post-Surfside, Florida condo regulations have changed the map statewide. Reserve studies matter. Financial health matters. Project eligibility matters. With all condos today, buyers have to look under the hood, investigate the possibility of assessments. Some are small, some are large. But it's best when there's none at all. Just like you don't want to surprise major repair in a home, imagine the price tag on a large condo tower. Inventory also behaves differently. Supply can increase faster in vertical markets than in historic street grids. The translation? Well, you're underwriting more variables, not just location. What's the building health like, right? And competition in this marketplace? Well, it's resale positioning. This is not worse. It's just different. Legacy versus modern. Here are the legacy lanes. Coral Gables, Coconut Grove, the Rhodes, Morningside. Value here is tied to the neighborhood form, the history, the protected identity, and the scarcity. Where modern prestige, like Brickell, downtown, and Edgewater, well, here the value is tied to the building quality, the financial strength, the management, and competition. Both of these can be premium, but they don't behave the same. So now you have the map: planned legacy, legacy lifestyle, close-in quiet pocket, historic district fabric, trophy waterfront, and modern prestige vertical. The move that saves people the most money? Well, pick the lane that matches how you live and how you want the property to behave long-term. If you're relocating to Miami and trying to decide between Coral Gables, Coconut Grove, The Roads, Morningside versus Brickell, Downtown, or Edgewater, don't guess. Reach out using the link in the description. We'll map your short list based on how you actually live, what you want the property to do long-term, and the real ownership costs you need to underwrite before you commit. I'm Milton Andrade, and this is Miami Living with Milton. Tell me your budget, tell me your timeline, tell me your lifestyle, and I'll tell you which lanes fit and how buyers are behaving in your specific pocket now. I'll see you on the next one.